Hello, welcome back. I have a question. It's history time. What body of water is renowned for having a mineral concentration that is 80 times higher than any other body of water? It's the Dead Sea, and that is what is on my face. This episode is a mud mask experience and tutorial that Serina, one of the co-founders of the Dead Sea Company, so graciously walked me through. I love their product because it's harvested from Jordan, from the Dead Sea. It feels amazing. The brush that it comes with feels like I'm luxuriously painting my face. The sponge that you use to remove it, the whole thing just feels like a real, 10 minutes spent. I'm such a fan of things that have minimal ingredients that are pretty much raw and from the earth. That is aligned for me. So on to the episode. In my bathroom, wearing my robe. I want to talk to you about how you said skincare is ritual. Can you talk more about that? Because I feel like we all have a routine. Okay, we wash our face. Maybe we do like a serum or toner and then moisturizer. But when you say the word ritual, it feels more, this is going to be over 10 minutes long.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, yes and no. I kind of want it to be either. So if you didn't have that long, it's just about kind of enjoying the moment and taking it as a moment. So I think I was reading a little bit about you and, your solo dates and just the importance of having time to yourself. It's just kind of more to see it as a time to do your skincare. So like look beautiful on the outside and, get that, the skincare aspect of it, but also take that time. So maybe you want to listen to your favorite podcast at the same time for that 5 minutes, or maybe you want to do a guided meditation, or maybe you just want to put on your favorite music. And I'm just trying to look at it more like that, because I don't know, with kids, I really find that those little breaks make such a difference. So even if it is just 10 minutes or 5 minutes, using that time that you have, because we're also time poor and we're also stressed. And I just think that those are the kind of things that just let you reset a little bit. And
how often do you put on this mud mask? Realistically?
So twice a week. I mean, once a week, definitely. My aim is always twice a week. But I also try and take a bath once a week as well. I can't do it every day. I
don't know who takes, I have so many friends that take baths every day, and I'm like, which I guess you could, if you take a 10-minute shower, but I'm just like, wow, once a week.
It does feel different though. I agree. The bath and the shower, even though you could maybe be spending the same time, there just seems to, I like to make that more a ritual as well, like the bath.
Yeah.
I do it properly kind of thing, instead of just kind of popping in and hopping out.
And so when do you put on your mud mask? Like, is your time in the morning? Is it at night when everyone's like asleep? Like, when do you?
At night, only because I think in the mornings are just so hectic and my boys are up so early that unless I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. to do my mask, it probably wouldn't work out.
Then it's not relaxing. Then it's like, put this thing on before anybody hears me, kind of thing.
Exactly. So after bedtime, I try and as I said, I try to, listen to something that I'm enjoying, or just take time. And even sometimes I call my friends. I just like to use it as time for me, basically. The thing I love to do is put my mask on in the bath as well, because I feel that's super indulgent. So
it is. I feel like you probably have like the whole tray and the whole like setup. I need to get one of those and do that whole thing, because I'm always like maybe trying to read a book and then I'm like, oh, my hands wet.
This is the thing. So I personally, I do like podcasts to listen, because I find that the book in the bath is hit or miss.
Well, I like your idea about the meditation too. I've done that kind of sometimes. I've started to when I take a bath, but then I love being underwater, so then I can't hear. But I do like the idea of having it sit on your face for 10 minutes and instead of just walking around, actually taking that total time out and just being
enjoy.
I
mean that's kind of what we were, that's where we're going with that. It's like it's just a moment to pause and to like nourish your skin but also your soul. So like take it a little bit deeper than that, because our lives are so busy with our phones, social media, everything that's going on, and especially if you're a mom and you're working and all the different things, that I do find that even that 5 to 10 minutes just breaking your thoughts makes me so much more efficient, makes me so much more able. So that's.
And I like when it's set aside. You say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this once a week. It just feels a little bit better than just having these cool products and then being like, when am I going to do this? I'm too tired.
Exactly. So I kind of also, you want to make time for yourself but at the same time, you don't want it to be a chore as well. So it's like that balance, isn't it? So it's like, you know, you need to set the time aside to do it. But you really, like, what I always try to, you know, if I'm feeling really time poor, and that you know, the guilt, which I read about, you know, when I was reading about your podcast, and you know, that you want to have guilt-free time. I also think, well, it doesn't have to be, I don't have to be in the bath for 30 minutes, or I don't have to, you know, be, I don't know, even not related to skincare, but, you know, just generally taking an hour or 2 hours. Sometimes I can just make it in shorter chunks and just say, right, this is my moment right now, and then I'll get back, you know, and try not to, otherwise I feel like I start feeling guilty about that as well. Oh, I'm taking too much time to myself, or, you know, I've got, you know, things to do for the boys, or whatever, I shouldn't be. So it's quite a difficult one. It's kind of juggling the whole time, isn't it? So you want to make the time, but you also don't want to make it feel like, oh, it's another thing on my list of things to do that I need to do.
Yeah. And that's why I like this like 10, 15, 20 minute type thing, because, and like, I know we were talking about how your 4-year-old and my 4-year-old were kind of like stalling for bedtimes. You go through these phases, right? And it's like, if you don't get to sleep in a decent hour, not only for them, but it's like for us, then it's like, well, I want to just like decompress for a minute, you know? And so like, if you say, okay, I'm going to do this 15-minute thing before I go to bed, that's doable, instead of like, oh God, you know, I want to get to bed before 10 or 11 or whatever. So
yeah,
I really
absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
So I was reading the ingredients in the Dead Sea Mineral Mask. Yes. And I really like everything that's in here. So 2 things that made me excited about your product. Well, one, I told you, I have a friend who went to go visit her family in Jordan, and they went to the Dead Sea. This was years ago. And she came back, and when she told me about it, I was like, oh, this is on my list. When she's like, everyone is floating on top of the water, and everyone's taking this and just women just slathering this all over themselves. And she's like, I didn't wash my hair for like days. And, you know, and it just seemed like, wow, people, it's like going to the beach or something. And then, which I know you can get Dead Sea stuff on Amazon or whatever, but she brought back bags full, and now she's out of her supply. And so I just think the concept of something coming from the earth is just, it's very simple for me to understand. You know, it's like, that can't be super bad. I went to Greece in May. My luggage was lost for 9 days. It was a 10-day trip, and it was a very tiny island. So it wasn't like, oh, you can just go to the store and buy some products. So it's kind of interesting, because I went 9 days without having anything. And a friend of mine gave me a moisturizer, and she was like, here, use this. And the first ingredient was donkey milk. And I was like, what? And I put that on myself every day. And I just felt like okay about it. I may sound ditzy because I'm not super educated on all ingredients, but I like that it seems pretty much like, this is from the earth, you can put it on yourself, and here it is in a cute little container. So tell me about like this product.
Well, I was going to say, it's interesting that you say that, because that was also one of the things when we started the brand. It was how overwhelming everything is, and as you said, there's a million products to do, all very similar and, you know, things. And one of the things that we wanted to do was, you know, this is a kind of beauty heritage. It's, you know, it's a spa ritual from the Dead Sea, and it's been used for thousands of years. And, you know, that it was something that we, you know, it is simple. It is simple and effective, and it works really well. And we wanted also not to complicate it either. So we also kept our ingredients lists very simple, so that we could, you know, keep that kind of purity and authenticity as well. So that was kind of the idea of it. And actually, we have an ingredient glossary as well on our website, which breaks down everything that's in it, why it's in it. And we really try and stay away from kind of any fluff or fillers in the products, just because we feel like our hero ingredients, that's what it is. It's, you know, it's the hero, you know, the restorative Dead Sea mud or Dead Sea salt for the other products. And that's what we want to kind of promote there. And then we just kind of add to it with other kind of skin loving ingredients as well.
So do you have to, I mean, what's the shelf life on this?
So I think when you open it, it's 12 months or 6 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there is a preservative system in there to make it safe, because mud has water in it, and any product that has water has to be safe, because that's
what I was wondering.
So we do have a preservative system that is good for natural products. It's certified for natural products. So
okay.
It's very gentle.
So I love that it comes in a kit with this brush. So the thing is, I was telling you, you know, when you get a facial, this is the most adorable little brush. you know, when you get a facial and it's like, they just paint your face and you're like, this is lovely. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, this is so, that's what feels so indulgent. It doesn't have to be like expensive. It's just like, oh, wow. But I don't know how to do these things. Like, I don't
Okay.
really know how to put on makeup. You know what I mean? I just do like eyeshadow, eyeliner, my thing. I don't know contouring, and I'm not like Kim Kardashian. Like, I don't know how to do that. So if you could show me how to use this beautiful brush,
Of course. So it's
because I want to
not
put it on
I
evenly. And when you do it with your fingers, you're like, what does evenly mean? You just like,
so it has to be even, and also with your fingers, even if you wash your hands, you get bacteria. So it's really important you always use a brush. And you have to clean your skin before, which I think you said you already have, because
yeah.
you need to wash off all the bacteria and stuff, and then you can put the mask on. But I've also, like you, I don't do much makeup, I don't do contouring, but this is nothing like that. It is just simply like painting your face. Essentially, it's angled, the brush, so that it kind of gets in, you know, where your nose is and stuff, and you literally just paint your face. You need to avoid your eye area and your mouth, so like,
Okay.
you know, don't put it too close to your eyes or near your lips.
So I don't know if you can see. So this looks, oh my God, I'm spilling it. So this is really just like mud. Like, I grew up on a lake and my best friend lived next door, and we would make mud pies. Like, we would dig with the sand where it gets muddy and we put it on my dad's surfboard and we would make mud pies. And
Yeah.
if you dig deep enough, it's clay, and then we would make things. Anyway, this is what this looks like. So how do I have to stir it? Like, how do
Yeah,
I?
so you saw there's a little bit of water at the top. That's
Yeah.
normal in natural masks. You might get some water separation. So you always just mix that in because you need the water. You don't want it to dry out.
Okay, so I stir this up and then
literally go for it.
you're like, put it on your face, lady. What's the problem? Okay, so where do I start?
I mean, personally, I always just start on my cheeks.
So this is, how do you know you're doing it evenly? Is it like nail polish where you like
maybe
wipe
just
them off?
take a little bit off the brush, and because at the end of the day you don't want too much on, it will just waste the product, and
Right,
it takes
that's what
longer
I'm
to dry.
trying
So
to avoid. Okay.
yeah, so just like
Okay.
you should feel like it's quite cool.
It is very nice. Okay, so that's why it's angled. It's for like
It's
this.
angled just to kind of get into the groove near your nose. And
And then tell me, like, you know, when you put a mask on, it'll say, you know, 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then I set a timer. But like, how dry is it supposed to be? Because, you know, sometimes you're like, this is feeling like it's stuck on my face.
yes, so actually you shouldn't let it dry 100%.
So even if the time is still like,
no. So if you put on, you should put kind of a thin, even layer, and then you remove it just before it gets 100% dry and starts to crack. Because if your mask is damp, your skin can absorb the beneficial minerals. But if it's getting too tight and dry, it's actually just you're losing moisture from your skin. So you don't want to leave it on. Yeah, and that I think is for most kind of clay masks, but definitely for the mud masks.
okay. So, and how do you guys get this product? I mean,
So
can you just scoop up all kinds of mud?
No, so, I mean, we actually formulated, this is our own formulation.
Okay.
We worked with some skincare experts in Jordan, and so as you said, you know, when we were talking about like the ingredients, it's a huge, something that we really thought about before we brought out the mask. It's our first product, and we really wanted to make sure that everything in there was, you know, skin loving. When I got pregnant with my first little boy, I was really conscious about what I was putting on my skin, and on top of that I have rosacea, and it kind of really flared up with the pregnancy and the hormones and everything, so I was looking really red, and I knew that Dead Sea Mud helped. So but I actually found it quite difficult to find masks that didn't have kind of other things that I didn't want in there. So we worked with a formulator in Jordan. We did a lot of testing in it, but so the mud is from Jordan, and then we have some nourishing oils in there. So I think there's pomegranate seed oil, jojoba oil, and sweet almond oil, and then some antioxidants as well. So your skin really, it should feel really nourished, moisturized, and you know, it's like the mud is infused with those things that kind of just give it that extra boost, so that you know your skin is purified, hydrated, and you got that glow at the end.
I think that's when a lot of people, wow, if you choose to be a mother, I think that's when a lot of people like you, or you do like a deep dive, right? Like I have this little card. I don't know if you've heard of Beauty Counter, years ago when I got their product, right? And they gave me this card that said the never list. And I kept that in my wallet for a long time, even when I was buying sunscreen and stuff. And so I would just look for everything. And I think that's when you become super conscious, right? Because you're like, our skin is our biggest organ. This is funny that I'm talking to you like this.
Well, this is the thing. It's exactly that. So we wanted to really make sure, as you said, at the end of the day, the Dead Sea mud is from the earth. And we were like, why would we want to add other things that, that don't give your skin that kind of boost that we wanted to get out of the mask. So it was a really long process to get to.
So did you start the business for your own need, or were you like, I love this product, I grew up going here, I want to start a company?
So initially it was, I set it up with my brother and my sister. We're half Jordanian. We grew up always going to the Dead Sea, and it's honestly, it's amazing there. As you were just saying, you put all the mud all over your body, and then you literally lie in the sea, you're floating effortlessly. It's a surreal feeling. And then when you get out, your skin is like silky soft. I mean, just the difference is incredible, and you're glowing. I mean, literally, when I was living in Jordan, I went every weekend to the Dead Sea.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
But I would still say it's an incredible experience to go there. It's actually, it's really timeless there. You have the scenery. It's like these, desertous mountains coming down into like the salty sea, and you float, and it's serene, and it's peaceful, and it's so tranquil, and it's I mean, for me, it's the best place. And that's why. So you have the skin side of it because of all the minerals. So it's got the water and the mud have a really high mineral concentration. I think it's about 80 times higher than regular seawater there. Wow. Which is why it benefits your skin so much. But also the peace that you feel, and the inside feeling you get after you go, you really feel revitalized. And that was where we wanted to go with the brand. It's like the whole ritual of it. It's not just having amazing glowing skin, it's actually feeling good. And that's the kind of experience we wanted to bring back. And then I was working in a corporate job, and then I got pregnant, and my skin was all, and flaring and horrible, and all the hormones and everything like that. It was terrible. And we were already in the process of setting up the business, but it was actually at the time when we were formulating the mud. And I was like, right, well, this is what I want. So it's kind of twofold. But initially awesome. It was for, it was a plan. And then it just kind of strengthened the ethos, and the values were strengthened by the experience that I had. So.
How awesome. I mean, it's horrible that you had to deal with like your skin feeling a certain way when you're changing and stuff, but then it was also like, it happened that way, so you could be the tester, right?
Well, this is a thing, and I use it. We all use it. I mean, our biggest fans are, our friends and family. Like it's something that we all use and we all love. So I mean, that's I guess what makes it, ours, and why we want to share it with people. It's something that we created because that's what we wanted.
That's so beautiful. And now you just started shipping to the US, right?
Yes, exactly. Just really recently.
And you wanted to do that just because you just wanted to open up another market, or what made you want to bring it to the US?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, that there's a Dead Sea market in the US. I mean, we're getting a lot of interest on our website, and people asking us, and we were just like, oh, it would be nice to do that, and we decided to kind of go for it. And yeah, so it's
good. Well, we are excited about that, because I have some clients who even their husbands do like Dead Sea masks, but it's just like, I don't know, you're getting, not that Amazon is, you could be a quality seller, but it's like, to me, you want to invest a little bit more in someone who you feel more aligned with. And it's like, what are you doing on Amazon? That's where you're buying other things, right? And so I think it's beautiful that you're now available to us. So then all these people I know that are buying it elsewhere can try your
product. I mean, how is it feeling?
Well, like, I don't know if I put it, it's dry, like on my forehead, it's dry. It's dry. I think I should take it off.
Okay, that's good. So with the sponge.
Okay, should I, obviously not right now, because I just have like my sports bra in this, but should I put it on my neck too for the future?
Yeah, if you could, I think it's good. I mean, I try and go down there. I mean, again, it's what works. If your clothes don't allow them, that's fine. But I think it's nice to.
Yeah, no, my clothes do allow it, but I also didn't want to look like a total like monster, like a Hulk, like
totally covered in mud.
Okay, so let's see, should I ring this up? This sponge is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
So it totally changes consistency. So you should now be able to fully squeeze it.
I could, but let's see, I'll probably get everything wet. Yeah, I could squeeze water out of it. Okay, tell me about this sponge, because as I was telling you, when I've done masks before, I have some kind of cloth. It's like when I went to Hammam in Istanbul, I got this cloth to take off that stuff, and that feels nice. They have an exfoliating one, it's a mitt.
Yeah,
and then I have like a more linen-y cloth. But this thing I like, and I was reading this little card that comes with it, and Okay, so it's pronounced konjac.
I mean, I think so. Konjac,
Okay.
yeah. That's how I say it. Konjac. Konjac
Konjac facial sponge made from natural konjac vegetable root, a porous vegetable grown in Asia, suitable for all skin types, even the most sensitive.
Yeah.
It's coloring and additive free, 100% biodegradable, and can be composted. This is a vegetable?
Yes. And that's why when you were saying like the mitten stuff, this has the same idea. So it will because the mask already exfoliates it. It's already exfoliating the dead skin. And the idea is a mud mask can be quite messy. You know, if you now just splash water all over your face, you're gonna get mud everywhere. So we wanted to find something that could kind of further the exfoliation, but also make it a nicer experience and avoid any kind of, you know, mud everywhere and also mud on your towels. So that was kind of why we found the sponge. And you just it's really hard when you first get it and you have to soak it in the water. It becomes like a proper, you know, sponge, and you just then take the mask off in circular motions. You just rub the mask.
Okay, so this is where it's gonna get kind of messy. So how do I this is full of water. Okay,
so squeeze it so it's not full of water.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and then just start in circular motions.
And then just rinse it, like just keep running it under the faucet?
Yeah, and then just put it on, yeah, exactly. And then, so when you've got like, when it's too much mud on it, keep going. You can keep going for a while.
You're like really holding my hand through this.
Don't scrub too hard, otherwise your face will.
What was that last part? You just like trailed off. You're like, don't scrub too hard because your
face will get really red.
Listen,
it's meant to be gentle.
This is all live here.
Exfoliation.
So my face like becomes like blistery or on fire. I don't know if this is gonna be a good promotion. Okay.
Definitely shouldn't.
Gently, and then just keep like wringing it out.
Exactly. Now wring it out, and then.
Does it matter if it's hot or cold water?
Warm water.
Warm water. Okay. This is so much cleaner than, like you said, having it all over my washcloth. And then I'm like, great, now I have this thing that I have to like hang up somewhere or something.
Exactly. And it dries out really quickly. And also with a sponge is great. You know, as I said, I mean, I use the mask about twice a week, but I use my sponge every day. Even when I wake up, I don't use anything in the morning. I just wash my face with water and I just use the sponge.
So what do you mean I was reading, I don't know where it was, something a few years ago online, it's some article, and they wrote Gisele Bundchen is an alien because she washes her face with ... water. So you just wash your face with water. How do you use this then? You just get it wet and like...
Yeah, in the morning. I mean, because I do all my skincare routine at night. I do wash my face with, you know, I have a face wash at night, but then in the morning I just you know, splash my face with water and then I use my sponge.
Well, no, I'm gonna do that because unless I like did some sort of workout that makes me really sweaty or something, I don't wash my face in the morning either. I just do it at night. So this is cool then to just do this.
Yeah, I have quite a minimalist approach to skincare though. That was also why I wanted like a multitasking mask. You know, I like to kind of keep my routine simple and effective.
Okay, so after I get all this off, do you put a moisturizer on? What do you do?
So you can splash your face with some cold water just to kind of finish it off and feel fresh, and then you always put a moisturizer on after a mask.
Okay. You said you don't have to do anything else, like no like serum or toner or anything like that.
No toner or anything. I mean, if you wanted to put a serum under your moisturizer, I mean, I guess it depends on your, you know, the routine that you have, but a moisturizer or a serum, then a moisturizer.
This one feels lovely. I don't know if this can translate over a podcast or over this video, but this is like so lovely. I'm gonna do this all the time. And then you replace this every couple weeks?
About every, I would say 8 weeks.
Okay.
It depends because because it's natural, you'll start seeing it kind of, you know, start to disintegrate. So then you'll know you need a new one. Well, you look glowing.
Well, it feels great. I know sometimes you get like a, you know, stinging feeling or weird feelings after a mask. This feels very lovely. I love all these little tools. That really excites me because I feel like, oh, I feel like a professional, you know? So,
it just changes the experience.
Yes. Okay, so I know our time is coming up, but can you just tell me a little bit more and everyone else about the Eco Peace Middle East, your involvement with that? Because I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so my background is actually in sustainability. That's what I was doing in my previous life before I
Okay.
started at Mexico. And one of the things, so obviously we are Jordanian, and it's important to us that in the Dead Sea is located in the Dead Sea Valley, and there is some water scarcity issues there. So we wanted to make sure that we were a conscious brand and that we were doing our thing, raising awareness and giving back. And so for our mineral mask, when anyone purchases one, we put £1 aside to donate to Eco Peace Middle East, which is basically they look to tackle water scarcity and the issue in the area. But it's not necessarily, it's related to tourism, agriculture, to just the general issue of water scarcity in that area, because there is a problem there. So
That's so cool. Even more exciting to want to participate in your brand than anyone else's. So
thank you.
well, thanks, Serina. I love this. I feel great right now. I'm going to put some moisturizer on, and just thank you so much for showing me this product and just doing what you're doing. I think it's great. I know it's hard when you have small kids, and it's just even a challenge to start something new. There's a lot of, and I'm so grateful that you're doing this. The packaging is beautiful. Your mission is beautiful. I'm just like a big fan. And so I'm glad that we took this time to.
It really means a lot. It's great to also, actually, I've never done a video call with someone doing the mask before. So it's been amazing. It's been really fun to go through it with you. And I really appreciate, you having me on and talking to me about it. So
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes, your website and at Instagram. Well, thank you so much. Isn't Serena great? You can just tell that she started the business from such an authentic place. And one of the things I love when she said, you don't want your skincare to feel like a chore. And even if it's like a 5-minute ordeal, you want it to feel just really loving up on your skin and not like, oh, I got to take off my makeup, because that is a chore. I also like when she used the word beauty heritage, because using salt from the Dead Sea is a spa ritual that's been used for thousands of years. Thought that was very cool. So this was both of our first times, her instructing and me putting on a mud mask in front of a camera. So if you want to see how it actually turned out, you can go to our new YouTube channel. And now it is time for a quote. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And that is by Howard Thurman. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you got something out of it. Be sure to check out the Dead Sea Company. And bonus, you guys get 10% off any purchase. They recently started shipping to the US, so that is very exciting. Go to the word thedeadseaco.com, and enter the word joy, JOY, at checkout to receive your 10% off. I, for one, spoiler alert to my mom or sister, I'm going to be gifting these for a Mother's Day present, and I'm thinking about doing like an at-home spa day, mostly because, my little girls will be with me. They can't go to a big spa. So I'm thinking of gifting everyone these masks and just doing a whole at-home spa session for a Mother's Day treat. Bye.